Apple has officially released the iOS 26.1 beta update for users to try out. In this video, let's quickly experience iOS 26.1 Beta 2 and see what's new. I'll be testing it on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is quite an old device, to see how it performs. Make sure to watch until the end of the video to see the final results. First, let's talk about the update size. I updated from the official iOS 26.0.1 to iOS 26.1 Beta 2, and the update size was about 8.61 gigabytes, pretty heavy for my old iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now that I've successfully updated to iOS 26.1 Beta 2, let's explore what's new in this version. Let's start with the performance test. First, I checked multitasking by opening and closing multiple apps quickly. I noticed that it doesn't feel as smooth as iOS 26.0, but keep in mind, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is already an old device, and performance usually stabilizes after a few days. Next, I ran the Antutu benchmark test. On iOS 26.0.1, the score was 1,020,000 points. After updating to iOS 26.1 Beta 2, the score dropped to 901,757 points, a decrease of more than 100,000, which is quite significant. Moving on to the Geekbench 6 test. On iOS 26.0.1, the single-core score was 1711 and the multi-core score was 3,328. On iOS 26.1 Beta 2, the single-core score dropped slightly to 1680, while the multi-core score increased to 3887. So the single-core score decreased by about 30 points, but the multi-core performance actually improved. Finally, with the 3D Mark Wildlife Unlimited test, on iOS 26.0.1, the score was 7,677 with an average FPS of 46. On iOS 26.1 Beta 2, the score dropped to 6,779 with an average FPS of 40.6. So we can clearly see a noticeable drop in graphics performance. To summarize, after running 3 different benchmark tests, most of the results show a performance drop on iOS 26.1 Beta 2 compared to the official iOS 26.0.1 version from Apple. But since this is still a beta version, hopefully Apple will optimize performance in the upcoming official release. Now, let's talk about battery life and temperature. After updating, I started testing when my battery was at 44% at 10:40 p.m. By 11:12 p.m., it dropped to 27%, which means it drained 17% in about 32 minutes. That's a bit high, but remember, my iPhone 11 Pro Max battery health is only at 77%. Usually, after an update, the system needs a few days to re-optimize battery performance, so this is just an early observation. The real results should be more accurate after 3 to 4 days of normal use. As for temperature, the phone stayed cool during normal use and only got slightly warm during heavy benchmark tests, like Antutu, but it cooled down quickly afterward. There were no overheating issues during daily tasks. In my next video, I'll explore more interesting things about iOS 26.1 Beta 2 so you can see what's coming next. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest videos on this channel.